Everyone's awake now?
Yep.
Woo! Good. Anyways, we're just going to get started here. I just kind of want to introduce this panel and my panelists. This is a panel I kind of started up, I don't even remember, last year, Edmonton Expo or something? I don't even remember. It's been around for a bit. And it kind of came out of the fact that when I started at the beginning of the decade, there wasn't really a whole lot of male cosplay role models that I could really look up to. Then I saw and chatted with Ivy Doom Kitty a couple years ago, and she told me about this panel, so I thought that this is one that I really wanted to get, so I could kind of showcase some of the guys, because we're in the minority on this time. So, anyways, my name's Lane Monteith. You can find me by that or Alpha Nerd Cosplay online.
Woo!
Thank you. I've competed all the way up into Masters. I'm starting doing YouTube, mostly rants, and just kind of helping people out doing workshops. Been doing panels for a while, and I started cosplaying in about 2010. And actually, this is my first costume that I made. I wanted to make sure I wore that today, and somehow it's still standing after 7 years, and I don't know how, but.
Woo!
So let's kind of go down the line, tell me who you are, what you've done, the usual CV stuff, so.
Yeah, I'm Derek Stevenson. I've been cosplaying now for, I guess this is my 3rd year. It was actually my son that got me into it. He wanted to be the Witcher, and then he decided, well, Witcher's an old guy, you're old, Dad, so why don't you? So, yeah, okay. And I'm having fun with it. I've won some awards. Actually, I won $1,500 cash for this costume this year, which is kind of cool. Woo!
Woo!
Pretty happy.
That was US too.
That was US.
Yeah, that's like $8,000.
Yeah, that was on a Comic-Con cruise. If you ever hear about a Comic-Con cruise, I recommend that. That was fun. I did my 2nd costume this year. I wore yesterday as Jorah Mormont from Game of Thrones. So I had lots of fun with that. Definitely, the cosplay for me is fun, and I'm enjoying it. It is a lot.
Mike.
My name is Mike, or Foam Forge Cosplay.
Woo! Woo!
You've seen the Calgary Expo video ads, you've seen my dumb face walk around downtown and ride a train. I do Halo armor construction, and I'm a member of the 405th. I also do a little bit of part-time mentoring in how to construct Halo armor. This is actually my 2nd get-up, 3rd rebuild of this torso. I also do a shock trooper. I don't do competition, I mostly just strut around for fun because being costumed and armored up is just a thing I like doing. You can find me on Instagram as Foam Forge Cosplay or Facebook.
My name's Clay Stushnoff, or Stush Cosplay and Cosplay on
Woo!
And this is my latest costume I did. It's Mega Man, but a little bit different version, less spandex. So it's good.
Thank you.
Been cosplaying since 2012. Me and my buddy Spencer did He-Man and Skeletor back then, and we got kind of hooked on the whole thing. And my thing's, I'm pretty cheap, so it's like costume on a budget, basically. So.
Thank you, me and Mike. Well, I'm Taylor Nodrick, a Cosmic Monster.
Woo!
I've been cosplaying since 2010, so that's 7 years ago. And really, I just started competing yesterday, which was kind of neat.
You rocked yesterday.
Thank you.
Woo!
Yeah, so, I'm also most well known for my Kylo Ren because I'm a 501st member. So, cosplay for me, I don't really have a thing I do. It's just kind of do what you feel like doing because you can do it, and that's what I do.
How many of you were at the cosplay contest yesterday?
Woo!
Good. So, for those of you that weren't, Taylor won the Master's Craftsmanship thing in his first competition.
First and foremost, the first thing I'm going to do is Instagram. Hello, everybody. Hi. There we go. All right. My name is Fawad. Just for a second. My name is Fawad. I'm known as Fawado Fitness or Entertainment, or on Instagram, Fawado_. I have been cosplaying since 2014, and my first cosplay was actually Goku. Yeah. One of my favorite characters that I was able to kind of get a chance to actually do. So, sadly I'm not wearing it today, and I'm, a street rat today, but Yeah, I've had my handful of doing many sorts of characters, from Kingdom Hearts to Metal Gear Solid, just because I'm just a big fan and geek of a lot of video games and comic books. So, hi, welcome everybody.
Woo! Woo!
Anyway, so one of the things that I want to do here is we've got like 20 years of experience between all of us, and I don't even know the awards. Realistically, I just kind of want to open this up as much as possible to any questions that any of you guys have. And if you don't have questions, well, then I have some prepared that they really don't like when I answer them because they're difficult and usually quadratic and vector calculus and all that stuff like that. So
I didn't forget calculator.
that's what use the calculator for mine.
You're Master Chief.
Yeah,
Figure
you
it
should be a
out.
master at it. That's what the master means.
I thought it was Master Chef.
Maybe we'll just kind of go down really quick, and because it's always that weird question where people say, oh, what's your area of expertise with costuming type thing, but we do have some that, you know, we focus on certain things more than others, so just to give you guys a bit of an intro as to stuff that we know, maybe we'll go down the line, start with you, Fawad, and we'll kind of like say like, hey, what are the two things that you would say that you are, you know, is your strengths and what you're the best at for doing all this stuff? I'm starting with you because, you know, we're gonna...
Like literally, fitness and entertainment kind of come hand in hand with what I put in as my cosplay name, because I'm also a fitness competitor as well. So when it comes down to just really building upon a physical look or appearance, I've taken it more serious than I have these last couple years. It really is up to you on how you want to present yourself, because either way, like, you're cosplaying for your own belief on how you want to present that character. For me, I like to showcase the character the best that I possibly can, so the aspect of the fitness comes hand in hand when it comes down to the character and what they do. And then also, yeah, I've had my hand full of different expertise of, you know, either sewing or, you know, it really comes down to trial and error, because sometimes I think I know what I'm doing, and then for like most of the duration I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So yeah, it just comes down to just really doing it. That's it.
I guess I'd say the thing I do best is probably foam work. But the thing that I think kind of separates, or at least I like to think separates my costumes from the rest, is like I really strive for proportionality and accuracy in everything I do. And again, like joining the 501st was a huge step for that for me, because it's a screen accurate only Star Wars costuming guild, so like it really set out like a list of you need this to do, and it was a challenge because usually when I'm doing something you can kind of cut corners and choose what you want to leave out to make it easier for you, but like setting myself to strive for that goal to get into the 501st like really helped me focus and pick out like what makes like costumes that you see in movies, and the proportionality and importance of that in delivering a character.
I don't mean to interrupt, but everybody's slow clap now.
I'm not late.
I'm very hungover, that's the truth.
So Jason, just insert yourself somewhere.
I'm gonna move it right here.
And Stu's really good setup. What do you got, man?
Okay, so I think what I like doing is basically costuming on a budget. So I try to keep all my costumes under 125 bucks Canadian, just with stuff kicking around the house that you can find at like Value Village or Salvation Army or stuff like that. I braid my wife's Rubbermaid containers along. But basically that, and then I don't think I'm an expert at anything or known for anything, but I do like trying new things. So I did my first sewing project this year. It was Pennywise from the new hit movie, so I did like a whole creepy clown dress thing from like the old school 1800s. So that was something. I like challenging myself and just doing new things. So.
So my area of expertise is pretty obvious. This is what I do. I'm Halo through and through, right now at least. I have follow crap in the works, but it's ways off.
It's basically Halo anyway, follow.
Whatever. You're going around and you shoot things. From there, I'm learning Evophone, which is all of this, so I'd say that's probably my second area of expertise, and that's armoring, just period. I like armor cosplay because it carries itself, plus it looks good, and I don't have to pick up a sewing needle or do anything that involves a sewing machine, so yes.
Right?
Oh yeah, I also do do PEP, which is how I built my helmet. This is a template that's available online. This started out as paper, and now it sounds like this. So, it's one of my favorite things.
Yes. For those people that aren't familiar with Epicurids, you basically print out these things on cardstock, and it tells you where you to fold and where you cut to glue them all together to basically make the armor. And then you fiberglass and Bondo and spend way, way, way too long making it so that it's stronger than paper because, well, yeah, we like stuff that doesn't fall apart when it gets wet.
Everybody's favorite PEP phrase is sand, prime, rinse, repeat. When you get done with your painting phase to sand everything smooth, you're going to sand it and then prime it and then find your pit marks and everything that you hate about it. So you're going to smooth it again and then you're going to sand it and prime it and find everything you hate. You're going to do that about 1,000 times until it finally looks like this.
It's like making 15 costumes at once.
Almost. If I'm like a kick in the head.
For me, probably one of my favorite parts is leather work and chainmail, which is kind of why I chose this costume. But one of the things I really enjoy about the cosplay is problem solving. Because if you look at the picture of Geralt, a screenshot from the game, it's just so overwhelming. There's so many elements to it. So I like picking it apart into little, okay, how do I do this? Make this part and then problem solve, and then go to the next one, and kind of putting it all together in the end and have somewhat some success. So that's one of the things I really enjoy about making the costume, is trying to, just that problem solving and figuring it all out.
And then mine, I've been doing a lot of stuff with different thermoplastics, the Warbler, the Wonderflex, the clear Warbler, which I never want to use again because it's not that great stuff. So that's definitely, I still have yet to make foam armor yet, so I feel like I'm weirded out by this, but hey, if you want like full-on breastplate made out of plastic that people have hit me with bats with and it only hurt a little bit, I can do that. And then yeah, kind of like Derek was saying is just, all right, how do I make this work? One of the things I like doing is, video games are weird and things just kind of hover and there's no way to get in and out of certain aspects and parts of clothing because of course they're not. So just kind of figuring out, okay, if this was real, like how would it actually make sense? So I looked at a lot of like armor books. There's some great ones for like Lord of the Rings for just how armor actually functions and actually stays on you. So just kind of to make it realistic. So I'm going to open it up to you guys if there's any questions. Just always feel free to interrupt us, put your hands up, stand up, shout. We'll repeat the question and I'll try to remember that. Yeah, go for it. Yes.
I want to see some
Well,
cards.
we're in
Dead ass though.
I took my coffee sauce like that, just saying.
God.
Yeah, I have a few parts missing as well. So.
Now spin it.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, there
That's
we
a
go.
death wish. I'll spin the new guy.
Not good anymore.
Right, that's it. Let's go. Let's go.
That was probably the hardest question. Oh, it takes 5 minutes.
So how heavy are your costumes? I'm going to be very.
Mine's super light.
Smart sucks, but everything else is light.
It's actually like, because it's all foam, it's not that bad. It's just the bulkiness more than anything. Like, I've got this shoulder, which I noticed in the game, like, this one just kind of floats and I had to figure out what to do with it. But this one, they went all out. They put straps all over the thing without actually attaches. So I have like no mobility in this arm, and that's really digging into the shoulder. So it's not the weight, it's just the way they make you do it.
Yeah, pretty light, like Taylor said, it's foam, but it's just first time wearing it to a con, it's kind of awkward, right? Because parts are falling off, your pants are falling down, so things are poking in weird places. So that's where I'm at.
Sounds like me at Chantel.
My shopkeeper kit was done the same way that I built my helmet, and when I first finished it, it weighed 35 pounds. So 17 hours over the course of 4 days at a Calgary Expo, that's super not fun.
You basically lost that 35 pounds of sweat, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, this one's actually 42 pounds. So I'm definitely a mess at the end of the convention. It's kind of a pain to travel with it too, because you're allowed 50 pounds on the baggage. So I get it in my duffel bag, it gives me 8 pounds to spare.
Dude, just wear it on. It's like carrying it. Sorry. You have any metal on you? You know.
You won't have problems with United that way.
Yeah.
But Neck brace.
This one weighs about, I think, 9 pounds when I weighed it, and the sword adds on another 3 or so, because it's a wooden prop. My heaviest one would be my Ganondorf, which with the props clocked in at 24 pounds.
Yeah, if I, like, everyone likes to come up to you when you're in armor, they're like, oh man, that must be so heavy, like, I feel so bad for you, but, like, this isn't that bad. Like, all in all, the foam itself weighs maybe, I wouldn't even say 10 pounds, but my Kylo Ren, it's 3 full-on black coats, and it's like 30 pounds of fabric, and he's got no sleeves, so it's all draped over the shoulders, so that one kills, but nobody expects it when it comes to just fabric and stuff, so.
Yeah, like Derek said, the chainmail's pretty heavy too, right? I did some Warcraft armor last year, and I did chainmail. It took me forever, but I did aluminum link, so it was a little bit lighter, but still heavy.
And armor sort of supports itself anyway. If you do, like, you know, it's not like you have everything on your neck. You have your shoulders bearing a lot of that weight as well. So
Yeah, this whole costume, the bulk of the armor is all supported by the chest plate, which is made out of Warlock. Fit right to you.
I find a lot of cosplays like this aren't really heavy. It's a joke, obviously. They're hot. Stuff like this is hot. I walk around all day, zipped up. Like when I get home, I stink. I smell like a leather jacket, and it's very sweaty.
I think that's everybody here.
Yeah.
Like you can wear, like you wear
Like, these things drain you of sweat and weight. Like,
Yeah.
you get
imagine
really
that
good
foam
after
doesn't
a weekend of
break.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't whatsoever. Got 4 pieces of repeating, right?
Yeah.
It all depends on your costume. Like really, there's so many different routes to go. Like you could go with Warba and just be heavy, right? But it just depends on how comfortable do you want to be, how mobile do you want to be, and then you just pick out. You know, you just write it down. You write down what you want to really create out of the costume, and then go about it.
and then you wear a sleeveless vest, you jerk.
I'm like a feather.
Yep.
Me?
Sure.
Okay, cool. What has been your favorite creation that you guys have made so far?
That's hard.
My ODST, it's actually tattooed on my shoulder, not my kid. There's a shock trooper emblem right here somewhere, underneath all this crap. I jumped the shark, and I recommend everyone, don't do that, because once you do, you never know where you're going to go next. It's like, I built the one thing I want. What do I do now?
Build it 2 more times.
We're to it.
Yeah, I'd say mine was probably. Honestly, if you ever watch this convention, this is one question that comes up a lot, and I think my answer's changed every time.
Because you're a liar.
Probably Hawk from Dragon Age 2, mostly because it was really difficult to build, just kind of emotionally, because you had to make all these weird metal parts before you could put them on, so you're just kind of staring at a pile of armor that you can't wear and can't see how it looks, so just to kind of push through that. It was also when I started working with like leather and chainmail and fur and all this stuff like that. So it was just kind of, it was really fun just to be able to learn and experience new things on it. So that's probably my best for, you know, today, and that'll change tomorrow.
I would say probably, I did an Urkai once. It was my first big foam armor build, and I wore it to Calgary, and I got my makeup done by Richard Taylor from the White Room, CEO, and I got to walk around all day wearing the foam prosthetic from the movie with Erica. And so I was in character all day. That's my favorite part about costumes, is play the character, play the part. And I got to see, like, I was like a little kid dressed up as a hobbit, and he wasn't scared at all because obviously his parents were Lord of the Rings fans. So anytime you get to do that, I really liked. So that's it. Probably my first. That was my first big armor build.
I guess it's probably got to be Kylo Ren again, because like it was the first time I'd really set a big goal for myself and achieved it, and just the reaction you get from the kids, because that's kind of why I started doing cosplay, was just because like it was the first time I did it, it was just like so much fun, like seeing a little kid have his day just made by your presence is really rewarding. So the fact that that happens continually while I'm in that costume is really makes it something special.
Yeah, I really like my Mass Effect Blood Dragon armor. That's probably my favorite build.
That was you.
Yeah, and but some of the easier costumes are a lot more fun too, right? Like if you're dressed like Skeletor and you're from the 80s, you're goofing with people the whole time. And like Pennywise was pretty sweet the other day.
Scared and there all day.
Yeah, just creeping people out and stuff. So I mean, some of the simpler costumes are a lot of fun as well.
I'd agree with Stash, because Stop. One of my favorite costumes would be Goku again. And when I first did it in 2014, I didn't necessarily have that made. I just purchased it because I thought, hey, it would be badass if I was walking around here with Goku costume. And then I revitalized that again when I did my Super Saiyan Goku all beat up and damaged from the Frieza saga. I think it was like just this past like couple of months for Anime-thon. It's comfortable and I'm like half naked, but the cool thing is that so much of that character was alive, and I got to showcase it with other people that that were part of the characters there too. So yeah, it just goes with the character that you like. And for me, it was Goku, and I've done Konoto, which is actually one of my favorite builds because that was the first time I ever did anything with armor. And I thought I knew how I was using Warbler, and there was a lot of trial and error that was involved in that project. So I was proud of that one as well.
You have more questions? Go boom, and then boom, and then all over the place. Yes, you!
If you guys, what is your dream cosplay if you have like no financial...
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Really tall Darth Vader.
You have access to all the supplies, what would each of you do?
Jason?
I couldn't stop. Darth Vader. So I've always wanted to do the Innovos Darth Vader. It's a couple grand. It's very expensive. And I want to do the platform boots, get the risers in them, so move your actor to the sides. Get the cape just above the boot line, doesn't touch the floor. Did a lot of research into it. Other than that, I would say General Grievous. I really want to do a puppet suit where I'm in the cape, and then everything moves in front of me. So that's probably going to be in the next year. And then Vader down the road.
Honestly, I've been really contemplating and dreaming about doing a Red Ranger, but really completely out of the original series and making its own customized fixture look. So that's kind of where I want to go and do it. Maybe hopefully do in 2018 really. So it's a dream that I want to make a reality.
For me, it's got to be, I really want a Godzilla suit. Maybe not Godzilla, but one of the monsters, just which is weird because I've done Ninja Turtles before, which would be a very similar process, and that was just, it was so miserable and warm, but like every time you watch a Toho movie and like especially behind the scenes stuff, just watching those suits, it's so cool, and I'd love to have one. Like, yeah, that's probably the dream.
Yeah, for me, I've done a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, a lot of characters from my childhood basically and stuff like that, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't have a particular character that I want to do, but I do want to get more into the prosthetics portion of it and do some sculpting and some molding and kind of just learn that aspect of it. So.
I screwed myself and did that, so I'm kind of thinking something big and stupid next. I kind of want to do something big and lumbering like what Taylor's wearing. I'm contemplating doing maybe something like a Terran Marine or some custom armor for another character.
Yeah.
Is that the right answer?
Yeah, I'm kind of hear where Mike's coming from, but probably what I'd like to do is another costume for my son. Get him in Dandelion. So I think me as Geralt and him as Dandelion, I think we have a riot at the convention. But again, I'm afraid of sewing machines. And Dandelion is a little...
Good reason.
They only hurt a little.
Yeah, but I need some assistance on that one.
Don't look at me, no. Mine has been for a long time Omega Ridley from Metroid Prime 3. It's a 10-foot tall dragon with a movable jaw and movable wings and lights and prosthetics and armor and puppetry. It's basically every costume that I'm kind of doing, it's sort of practicing for that because I know I'm going to have to, like, I've been thinking of this for 6 years type thing ever since I made this. And it's, okay, what do I need to do? I need to learn this. All right, what's a costume that will do that? This. All right, let's spend a year on that and figure this thing out.
I got a better one.
That is, yeah, that is my acme
Like a
there.
useful
That's what I'm
one.
gonna do.
I like the unpractical, like, big, out of this world costumes you guys are naming, like Godzilla.
Hey.
Like, if we're going at that route, like, I would love to have myself, like,
No, you picked
20
your
feet
answer.
Gundam.
No budget, right?
You said no budget?
No.
I could Death Star life size.
That would be so cool.
Other questions? I think there's one more. Yeah.
Yeah, so when you first started doing this, how did you learn how to work with these difficult materials?
You just start doing it. That's, you jump in, full.
You burn all your fingertips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing.
The easy answers.
That's honestly one thing I'm like, people ask me all the time, like, how do you do this? I say, oh, I wish I could do that. You can. You absolutely can. I was 14 years old and I'm like, I'm going to make a Halo suit. And they're like, you can't do that. Was it great? Did it look like mice? No, but I did it and I just kept going because it's for you. It's not for anybody else. So if you just jump in, do what you want to do, you'll find the momentum to keep going.
Yeah, as you go, you learn different techniques and stuff. A lot of trial and error. Like you're not gonna get it right the first time, really. Like Mike said, you're sanding all the time and grinding. So just keep at it. There's a lot of tutorials online and stuff, or just message somebody who's done it before, right, for tips and tricks.
Yeah, YouTube's huge now.
YouTube,
Yeah, I know, like when I
I don't
started
think
just
it's going
even
anywhere.
learning how to use Wonderflex, it was, oh, here's a text tutorial online and some video that was in German. But, all right, I think I get it, and you messed up, and like this kind of belt guard that I have, I actually messed that one up, and it's a little expensive, but it's one of those, all right, now I learned the thing, so, yeah.
And again, like all these guys are up here saying, oh, I'm afraid of sewing machines. That was me a year ago, and my first sewing project was a screen-accurate Star Wars costume. And I sewed a coat that's covered in pleats, and worked with monk's cloth, which I don't know if any of you know what it is, but it falls apart when you touch it. Like, this is my first time using a sewing machine, and 501st says it's good enough to be called screen-accurate. So if you just start, you'll get there.
Break away from feeling uncomfortable is the biggest part. Like, you just need to get to the point where, like, the comfortability zone is broken. Like, you're just gonna do it, you're gonna go right into whatever it is that you're gonna be doing. If you've never sewn before, that's fine. Like, again, isn't that a plug on other cosplayers that's out there, but think about, like, your favorite cosplayer that you see. I'm sure, like, they have probably, like, some tutorials that you can probably follow, right? Like, I think for me personally, even when it comes to, like, crafting foam or just simple builds, I like following Evil Ted because I think the guy's magnificent when it comes down to, like, just breaking down what to do, right?
If you're not watching Evil Ted start,
yeah, that's smart.
Just do it.
Kamui
Do it
is
now.
actually one of those other cosplayers from Germany, actually, too. She actually breaks down exactly.
She has some very good books.
Yeah,
right?
like,
Adam Savage has some pretty good
Yeah.
little bits here and there. He did the Wookiee this year with C-3PO and back.
If you're just starting out building stuff for armor as well, I recommend starting with something small. These are numbers 4 and 5 on my forearms right now. I built 5 of them to make sure I knew what I was doing with the EVA foam before I moved on to any other portion of my costume.
Yeah, these were the first things that I made out of Wonderflex. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna start with something that, I can at least wear and see how this stuff actually works type thing. You can tell because this one's slanted, but I don't care.
Because it works.
It's part of my design with my arms at an angle, yeah.
It's battle damage.
Yeah, just,
Just like a quick question. I think every cosplay has a nightmare of paint job. Like, what could you recommend for, like, to use? What kind of paints do you use, or if any techniques at all?
black washing.
Lots of black washing.
That's the one thing that I kind of had was like, it just makes everything pop. For those that aren't sure, it's literally take black acrylic paint, just draw on it type thing, grab a rag, wipe it off, and do that until it looks better. The black kind of gets in like into all those crevices where dirt would go normally, and it just makes everything pop. And it's one of those like those simplest things that you can do, and it really just makes the thing look 10 times better.
And then on top of that, I add a silver dry brush because the easiest way to do it is you spray paint your primary color, black wash to get the shadows, and then just give it a silver dry brush highlight, and that just already adds so much dimension to what you have.
And what do you tell what are you saying about that? Just look at the back of the helmet here, along the ridge. It's got that silver.
Yeah.
It makes all the edges pop lines.
It's like contouring, but on armor. Dark for the low lights and silver for the highlights. It's the same basic thing.
Know your material as well. Foam doesn't take the spray paint very well. As you bend it, it will crack and it will separate. You'll get a lot of line work and other things in your foam work. But foam loves things like spray paint loves things like hard surfaces, like my helmet here. Unfortunately, to keep my color consistent, I had to aerosol can this. Acrylic paints like foam a lot, they will bend, especially leather acrylic paints.
However, be warned about the time that takes, because this one was all painted in acrylic with an airbrush and by hand, and I was used to just spray painting, and I was like, oh yeah, painting that takes like 2 days.
No.
No, not the same thing. Like we were using an airbrush, and that took, I almost didn't get this finished, because we were painting up until Thursday night.
Since we're on topic of time, leave a lot of time for yourself to do a project. I know us as cosplayers, we don't tend on doing that, but
Middle finger.
just keep reminding yourself, like, what is the costume that you're trying to do? When is it supposed to be done for? And leave.
No week.
Oh, great.
I started this in October, and I finished on Thursday night. So, I mean, there's that. Like, it takes time, and it's always going to take more than you plan for.
Yeah, and if you're ordering stuff online, like LEDs or whatever, like, there's a lot of time for those to get over from China.
I guess it's kind of a two-part question. I'm not sure how to fully ask it, but like, I'm just getting to know you guys a little bit. You're maybe more hobbyists, like you enjoy doing it. But I've always been curious about how men can be successful, at an international level, traveling and doing. So I'm just curious, is there a niche for men to be successful still, or is it really competitive and hard to get into?
Well, it's a big thing. It's like marketing.
Yeah.
Than anything else. It's selling yourself.
Yeah.
You're 100% your product and you're putting it.
I think it's accurate.
Yeah, literally, it is marketing yourself. The person who takes all my pictures for me that I post online and stuff is my wife, and she does it grudgingly. She's like, okay, I'll take another picture. So we're in my backyard all the time, and then you throw a little filter on there or something that's an unfiltered picture. We post it on Imgur, and then to Reddit or whatever, and that gets you out there, and if it gets picked up and gets popular, you'll go all over the place. I did that with my Mega Man costume just last week, I think, and it's been quite popular online anyway, so
Kotaku,
places. Yeah.
Stan Winston Scorpion, I was blown away. Like, I know that guy, and he's on like the primo like movie making, makeup and props.
Yeah, so
page.
Yeah, so it's just like just sharing it out there and making sure you're putting a good product forward. A lot of people ask me for tutorials, and we're really bad at tutorials on this. I gotta do that, and like progress pics, I kind of just I'm head down working on stuff, so I don't make a lot of progress pics, but just it's a lot of marketing.
Also variety.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you have 2 cosplays, I started getting it this year where people come and be like, oh hey man, didn't I see you like 2 years ago? Probably.
Yeah. That was a different cheat. I like better.
Use social media as a tool, because it's available to us and it wasn't like this like 10 or 15 years ago. It's probably the best thing that you can do to really finalize yourself out there, right? And be you. I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people kind of misjudge is like, you just need to be yourself when you're posting anything. Just, that's what people want to see. They don't want to see you do the same thing that, other cosplayers are doing. Be original, be yourself, make the character who you want to make it be, and it will eventually just start picking up and people will see it for what it is, right? So.
I had a celebrity a couple years ago tell me that being famous is a terrible goal to have. Because it's this moving goalpost and you'll never get there. And it puts so much pressure on you and it becomes less fun and all this stuff like that. And it's really, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do that, if you want that to be your thing. But, as long as you're having fun, people will notice that and know that you're kind of being you. And, as opposed to just doing it to be famous. Like, it's hard to do anything to be famous. Like, any aspiring actors or musicians, that would be neat, but they're not necessarily doing it because, I'm playing the guitar because I want to be famous. They're generally playing the guitar because they love playing the guitar.
And I guess that's kind of where I was going with the question is like, is there an opportunity to do it as a full-time job and still love it and be paid by it?
Absolutely, you gotta not get ran over by it. Like the big thing with the con, we all know the word con crunch. That's the week before the con when you actually do the work you're supposed to do.
I don't think you could strictly cosplay and make a living out of it as a guy.
I mean, even Yaya Han doesn't
You have to
just
do a lot of
cosplay,
marketing.
make a living, it's making.
Like you look at the door and it's like Bill, right? Like punch props. So he does a lot of commissions and stuff like that.
That's what the money is in the commissions. And from my limited experience doing commissions, it's such a bad time.
It's kind of something that's not for you.
Well, and people expect a lot less, like it's, hey Mike, can you build me that armor for $50, please?
It's like, I can buy the materials for $103.
As a props, I just want to interject. It's actually not in the commission work. Commission work is a doorway. It's mold making, casting, and selling pre-established props. That is how you make your money. Volden Props or Harrison Cricks, he got a commission like 2 years ago to do a needler that got featured on Tested from Halo. And what he did was he sought rights from the person that commissioned it from him, made molds of every piece and assembled kits for it. And once he was done construction of it, he sold 4, 5, or 6 of them for pennies on the dime compared to what the actual commission was. But he made his money back for his molding and everything else and turned profit on somebody else's commission work. So if you can get that, talk to somebody, be like, if I build you this, I'm gonna make casts of it and then I'm gonna sell those casts. 9 times out of 10 people will be okay with that. And then from there, that's where your money comes from. It's turning something expensive into something you can do quickly, cheaply, and then just vlog out there for easy money.
Yeah, I know Carl Martin is a cosplayer down in the States, and he made a life-size Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII and made a mold of it.
Yeah.
And is selling those, I think, for $1,100 US, like painted and prepped, or $900 not painted, just as the raw cast. So it's, you can make that back, but you know, that's like definitely where you say it's, that's where you're gonna make a killing. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
I was like, what if there's a ton of foreign people?
Hey, wait, we gotta do another slow clap.
Oh, another slow
Oh, yeah. I'd like to point out, you told me you weren't going to be late this time.
Yeah, that's no problem, but you again next time.
The guards wouldn't let us through, so we had to walk all the way around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, I think you're good.
Squeeze it in.
So I was wondering how much of the decision to cosplay as a certain character or as something from a certain game or movie or world or something is generally for you inspired by like the costume itself and wanting to make that or wanting to work with certain materials to challenge yourself, and how much of it is usually like it's your favorite game or your favorite show and you want to be something from that or like sentimental reasons or
A lot of it's character for me. Like, if I can play the character, if I have the build of the character, I know a lot of people say, you know, you can cosplay outside your build. I definitely encourage that. I don't do it myself, unfortunately. I don't like the look of it. So a lot of times I'll find a character that has the same jawline as myself. I like doing Joker, I like doing Negan, stuff like that. And then I'll do the paint for it. So if I fall in love with the character, usually will lead me into it. And then it just snowballs if I can actually do it. Like for Negan, I was like, oh, I'll make the bat. If I can make the bat, it looks good, I'll make the whole thing. And then you make the bat, it looks good, people like it, next time.
Yeah, we're inspired with just like our childhood. Like that's really where it stems out from. Like when I was 12 years old and I was like watching Dragon Ball Z, that's why the reason I got into martial arts, or if I was doing bodybuilding, because I wanted to look like Goku or Vegeta. Those guys are insanely buff. So like. Like the way that the character looks, you might not look exactly like them, right? But like you can get at least almost close to accurate when it comes down to like the way the costume looks. But you know, again, the jawline and stuff like that, that's just being a little bit picky if you need to be, right? So yeah, it depends on what you want.
No, go on.
For me, it's just what I want to do. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. I find the character. So like with Doom, he was something that like from my childhood, like playing the original Doom, and then the new one dropped in last year in May. And I was like, well, there it is. Like that's what I'm doing next. And people always ask me like, oh, what are you gonna do to top it? What are you gonna do to top it? I have no idea what I'm doing next year. Like when it clicks, it'll click, and that's when I'll decide to do it. And if I want to try something new, I'll figure out a way to work it in, or if I want to do something safe, I'll do it that way. Like it's really just, I pick the best tools for the job when I've decided what I want to make.
Yeah, like these guys said, like either characters I like from childhood, or the other thing that we'll do now is, because we've done a lot of stuff that we've really wanted to do, so now we're kind of struggling on figuring out like, oh, what are we going to do now? So what we've been looking at is looking at more timely cosplays, and look at what movies are coming out around that con, and we'll work on that, or something like that, just so it's kind of a little bit more popular or whatever. But It definitely start out with the stuff you like. Like, if you like Mega Man, do it. If you like Doom Guy, do it, right? So.
Oh yeah, you're here.
Yeah, what's your opinion?
Okay, so repeat the question briefly. It's hard for me to hear.
Why did you choose to do the costumes that you do? Is it because you love the characters or love the costumes?
It's a couple things. It could be inspiration. It could be relating to the character himself. It's a lot of things. I simply just like it. I can't really relate to Terminator. I can't really relate to Robocop, but they inspire me because of what they stand for, their symbolism. So I'll do that, and that's how I basically choose what I want to do. If it's within my skill sets, absolutely. But if it's way too far out of the reach, then I'll start it 2 years before and try and get it done. Yes, you did.
Yeah, we'll go in the back there, Mr. Snape.
Have you ever shied away from doing a costume because it seems like people wear it on?
Have you shied away from a costume because someone else wore it?
Yeah. Let's say, like for example, how many Winter Soldiers are there? How many Captain Americas are there? Whole tons of them, right? At the end of the day, where it really relates is, it's your costume, right? Like, there may be an instance where there's a person that might have a little bit of a better costume look that looks a little bit better, maybe, right? But at the end of the day, like, how many years have they been doing it compared to how many years have you been doing it, right? So if you've only been doing it for 2 years and then you're seeing another Captain America or, you know, another character that's, you know, really good, but they've been doing it for like 15 years, right? It just comes with experience too, right? So you should never let that really put you down at all. Like, if anything, it should just inspire you to even go a little bit further. Like, you know what? I wonder how they did that. And us as cosplayers, we love questions. So as far as it comes to like anybody asking us how we made certain things, it's something that we love to appreciate on talking about.
Yeah, I feel like we probably all share that thing, I would imagine.
Yeah.
For this con, there's 3 other Master Chiefs that have been here for the entirety of the duration of it I've seen so far. I've bumped into a guy by the name of Ty, a guy by the name of Ryan, and a little itty bitty Master Chief. I'm never put off by the idea of somebody else wearing the same cosplay as me. I'm doing it the best that I possibly can because it's something that I enjoy. If somebody else is doing it, I hope they get just as much enjoyment out of it and they're not doing it just to wear the face. Because it's as much a hobby and it's as much a thing that we love doing as much as we love wearing it, right? So if someone else is doing the same thing as you, that's awesome. To me, that's camaraderie, at least in some kind of weird way.
Yeah, like we were doing Mortal Kombat yesterday, so I was Scorpion, and there was other Scorpions around. It was awesome seeing those guys. It was like, Scorpions! And you take pictures and you beat up all the Scorpions together. So,
every time you see one, you just shove it over your head.
Totally.
Anyone else there? Question? Yes?
You guys are speaking that you're kind of minority in the cosplay world. Do you ever come across dealing with stereotypes or prejudices, and how do you deal with that when
I know, I have, you know the cosplay's not consent thing, we always see those things. The one thing I found is that I'll have people, like I'll have girls and that come up and just kind of hug me and do stuff and just, I guess, assume that it's okay because I'm a guy sometimes, which is a little bit odd. For me, I don't mind personally, but it is something that I see. But yeah, in terms of evidence there.
Whenever I appear in public that's not at a convention, because I've volunteered at the Expo booth and I've gone to West Edmonton Mall for Microsoft there, because I've been their chief a couple of times. I've been physically assaulted and groped because I'm a cosplayer, everything is fine. And I'm a dude, so I should just take it. I've pushed somebody and I've nearly hit someone back, and I've had to actually walk away from them because as a guy, it's not acceptable to just grab me, and as a person, it's not acceptable to, while I'm wearing costume armor, walk up to me and then hit me as hard as he possibly can.
I was there for that.
Yeah, I had some dude walking behind me in West Edmonton Mall. He looked to be some shit like teenager, I think, to generalize horribly, but he was like 16 or 17. He punched me in the back of my Master Chief cosplay as hard as he possibly could and did damage to my armor because it was funny.
Got punched the cheek. That's something that I think happens a lot, is when, especially in armor, is everybody just wants to see what he can take. And yeah, I've been in full armor and people just club you up for no reason. Like, I used to take transit here just because like it was fun. You go to like Chinook Mall and kids there, we can get to come here. Got to see it and got a kick out of it, but it just eventually it just stopped being worth it because yeah, when you're not in the con state or in the con space, it's like yeah, people they don't get it and like they don't treat you like a person if they can't see your face. So like wearing, especially since a lot of men do cosplay with helmets where you're not using your face so much, like you do get a lot of that where people kind of forget that there's a person under there.
I've never really had any trouble in a convention, but being 47 and a lot of my friends at that age, they think it's the most ridiculous, stupidest thing they've ever heard. So I probably get teased from my buddies more than anything else. It gets a little bit annoying, you know. Same question, well, how many of those girls have you? That question gets really annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not
Yes.
easy to do.
That ties into a question I was going to ask about what barriers did you guys have to overcome to be able to do this? Like, did you face any sort of like, yeah, what you were saying, basically, you know, following something you enjoy?
Yeah, so
I'm a huge nerd. I was born and raised for 21 years in Fort McMurray. I, in high school, attended. I attended.
You were born.
I attended high school and went to the Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith midnight launch in full Jedi gear. From that moment forward, for the next 3 years, I was quote unquote that Star Wars fag. I had to break someone's nose in grade 9 because I was a nerd, and I've gotten into numerous fistfights and nearly expelled because it's fun to pick on the nerd because they won't fight back. No.
It's not fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep being me and no one's gonna stop that.
Yeah, my moniker, my outfitter cosplay, when I was trying to come up with it, that was something that someone called me in high school in grade 11, just before they pushed me down the stairs, because I was like that drama and that band geek and that nerd kind of thing, so now I'm just saying, no,
I do feel like
I'm gonna win it right now.
things have gotten a lot better. Like I started cosplaying in 2010, and when I started, I was in junior high, and I was like super embarrassed about it. I didn't want anyone to know, and like they found out, and like that sucked. And then something changed. I think 2012 is the year I kind of pick out as the Avengers came out, and all of a sudden it was the coolest shit, and everyone loved you. Like it was such a drastic change. Like from my first year at Calgary Expo in 2011. To 2012 when it was the coolest and everyone wanted to know what it was and how you did it. So like, I feel like it's gotten better, like being a younger cosplayer that like went through that transition while I was still in school.
It depends where you're located too, right? Like I have a friend who's in rural Saskatchewan and it's not as acceptable there, right? But Calgary's pretty good. You also gotta be comfortable in your own skin a little bit. We're from a small town and there's like 4 cosplayers there and we're all friends basically. Just really hang out together, and but I mean, yeah, you get that grief from people, and it's like,
Not everybody will understand. Okay. Take it with a grain of salt. Everyone's got hobbies. This is yours.
But we live in a world today, like, what's in the box office that's making the most money? Nerd shit. Yeah, it's like everything that's really popping out is like nerd pop culture and comic books. Things that now that a lot of people are accepting, and when they see it online, like when you see a cosplayer, everybody knows who a cosplayer is. You know what I mean? Like they understand who a cosplayer is. So
you like nerd stuff before it was cool.
Yeah. If you show up to work, like if you have a job and you show up to work as like Batman on Halloween, you're like the best, right? And then you're known as Batman for the rest of your career at that job.
Any other questions then? Joker. Yes, pal.
If all of your characters that you're wearing right now got into a fight, who would win?
I'd be running that way.
Aladdin.
Because I'm pretty sure if I have a magic carpet here, I'd be flying away. You know,
I'm coming with you.
Take away the suit, what he is.
He's got a metal arm.
Spoiler alert, you can't kill someone that's already dead.
Well, my character's the oldest, I think he can.
Yeah, you'll just drop it. Anyone else, sorry. Yes?
All right. So I'm kind of curious what your answers are going to be, but what's more difficult to create, sci-fi or fantasy?
I'd say each one of those has insane challenges.
It's all bringing it to life, and it's really hard.
With fantasy, you have a lot of like leatherworking usually, or chainmail armor to go with it. With science fiction stuff, you have materials that have to look like something that doesn't exist, or you have armor that's designed to not actually fit a human being. In Halo, with my shock trooper armor, I show people cutscenes at moments in time in the game ODST. I'm like, this guy's armor is now clipping directly through his entire body because why not, right? And then Bungie will sit there and go, we made it designed in proportion to a human being. I'm like, yeah, standing in a perfect T shape. I don't care that it fits him when he's doing that. Try walking around in it.
Yeah. This is what I really like BioWare, for instance. When they came with some Dragon Age stuff, they actually made a patch, and before that they asked a bunch of cosplayers, hey, what are some of the limitations that you had while you were making this costume? And usually the thing is, where the hell are the pockets? And where are the belly slots? So they actually, patched and did some remodeling and added pockets to these things, which is like the most minor change, but they wanted it to, be authentic. Like, yeah, you probably have to pull some gold out at some point, and it doesn't just go up your butt.
Well, yeah, there's certainly fantasy to swords on the back.
Keep my money.
In the game, no
Nature's
problem.
pocket.
Yeah, I cannot request silver.
Yeah, I did join the sword
back. What's the hard part? Okay, like grab the bottom and lean.
That's not
Yeah, my Joel from The Last of Us, I've got a pipe that just kind of floats with magnets and a rifle and a bow and arrow while I'm holding a flamethrower and a gun, and I'm like, how does this person carry this much? But yet you're playing it, it's like, I wish I could carry more. Anyone else? Cool. Oh, yeah.
Have you guys ever gender bent? And if so, how do people respond to it?
One time.
I have, well, okay. I haven't yet, but I will be in about a week. I'm going to be doing a Mr. Frizzle that I've made a
I was going to ask, gender bend or crossplay, because that's really tough. So crossplay is when you actually cosplay as the opposite gender, so you dress in female attire and you are female. Gender bending is when you take a female character, for us at least, and you make it a male character. So Mr. Frizzle. So gender bending?
I meant gender bending.
Okay, perfect. Honestly, if you can take a character and suit it to you, the cosplay community itself is usually really receptive of it.
I've done a Kame got killed. I've done a Kame as a gender bend. I think honestly, if I was thinking of it as a guy, that's what I would assume it to be like, right? Because it's a badass character that slices and dices whenever they're going on an assassin, on a mission, basically, right? So, it depends on how you perceive it. Like, how do you want to create the character in your mind to look like as if it was a guy, basically. I don't know.
I found a big one. I don't know if you guys saw a lot of Overwatch cosplayers the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Example, which is theirs. She's a Junkrat cosplayer. So he looks like Junkrat. He's a very lanky guy. She's a girl, she's very skinny, looks good, looks just like Junkrat. But, so I really encourage it because the characters, just because it's male or female, if you really like a character, it's the same basis as the rest of these. If you like that character, man, it shouldn't be like, if you want to be Captain Phasma tomorrow, be Captain Phasma. It's a great costume. You can get that like the same way, it doesn't matter. People will still accept it.
Yeah, so going back to the other question where it's like if you could do any cosplay, what would you do if you had a limited budget? So I keep bringing up the idea, and I'll bring it up to these guys, but they'll be like, you're silly. But it's a My Little Pony Centaur.
Is your cutie mark going to be a battle axe?
Well, I think we keep the cutie marks the same, but like the rest of the Think about it.
I thought about it. I'll think about it. Any other questions there? Then I get to ask Elaine a question. All right, you guys. You get one material that you can have over anything else. So if there was one material that you could have, one tool that you could have, and that was like the one thing that's the most important that maybe people haven't heard about, let's see if between all of us we can get a nice kit. So you can't use the same thing like I did. So I'll start, because I don't want to be screwed over on this.
This is going to be really hard for me.
Yeah, you have the end though. So the one thing I don't know if anyone's heard of this material called XTC 3D. It's a resin for 3D printing, and it's designed, when you're 3D printing, how it has those styrations and that? This thing is explicitly designed to go on there to smooth that stuff out. When it does it, it makes stuff very hard, which is great for armor. It self-smooths itself, and it's tough enough that with 2 layers, you can screw a Chicago screw or a nut and bolt through the thing. I had Okagio at a panel here, I think 2 years ago, say that stuff, and I tried it, and it's all I do to smooth out my like warbling stuff now. It's strong. The only main problem is that if you have little designs, like little kind of slits or crevices or something, it will fill those things in. But that would be the one thing that I would have. Now you're up. One material that you can recommend.
I'm pretty obvious, I'm kind of a leather guy.
Okay.
Well, what I'd love to get into, which I haven't yet, is tooling leather.
Okay.
Because there's a couple of cosplayers I've seen that makes pretty wild leather armor with their tool it together, and it's pretty neat stuff. Definitely something.
Mike, you're one hidden gem.
I'm a foam convert, 100% EVA. It's my thing. As much as I loved Pepakuro before, like 110-pound cardstock to make all the scrap, no foam, 100%.
So what's the most important tool for you doing foam then?
A very, very sharp knife, like a number 11 hobby blade. So it looks like a scalpel or any kind of X-Acto knife. Just keep breaking and swapping blades.
Sharp knife, never mind.
Sharpener.
Yeah.
Buy sharpening stone.
So is it a material and a tool?
Yeah, like one thing that that maybe not everyone knows about that you can kind of recommend a new material or new something. And we can skip you and come back to it. That was good. I got this something. Chime in if you got it, gentlemen.
Okay, I would say like everybody knows this, but you need like a heavy duty glue gun for me, anyways, right? Like I've burned through probably 3. Like I get them from Canadian Tire, right? So there's heavy duty ones with these little spouts on them, so it's nice to get into little cracks and stuff. But like I've burned through like 3 of those things, so yeah, a lot of glue. So heavy duty glue gun and
hot heat or low heat for foam?
I'm always on hot heat.
Have you E6000?
Okay.
For foam. I find it doesn't work on a lot of stuff that it says it does. But that being said, if you're doing anything with like the pink insulation foam, where you carve it into a shape and put warble over it, it's really good for just putting that together, and then you make it. So I would say E6000 is my little. I hated it at first. We bought a bottle of it, and I put it on some things to put it together, and I held it for like 2 hours, and it was just still wet. Didn't do anything. It takes a long time to dry. That's the main thing. But if you're willing to wait overnight, it's a good hold. It's really nice.
You need some kind of electrical sander, a Dremel, a belt sander, even just a palm sander. Like, it changes everything to have that. Like, I just got a belt sander, and wow, like the speed that you can get things done with on that. Because like, I love my Dremel and it's essential, but like when you're sanding down the little horns on Sarah's head, like doing that with the Dremel takes forever, and it takes 5 minutes, not even per horn on the belt sander. Like it's amazing for working with bone and shaping things, and it gets it fairly smooth, so you lose a lot of the force that you get with the Dremel.
And fingertips.
And fingertips. Something to invest in. Heat blade. Remember that. Heat blade is, see, as Mike was actually just saying about, having a sharpener and everything like that, how about we just have none of that and just have the tool of a heat blade to actually, when you're cutting your EVA foam, straight, and it's going to be smooth until it isn't smooth.
I've used a bandsaw to cut foam and a lot of stuff too. So
Yeah.
Done good.
Yeah, sounds perfect. Expensive, but it's a good one. Yeah.
Barge.
Barge.
Barge is a good one. So with cosplay, there's a lot of materials that you want to glue together, and there's not really an adhesive or glue that's out there. Barge is a liquid cement that will basically bond any 2 things together. Have it be EVA foam, have it be whatever. It can also be sanded down and cut without it being exposed, which is fantastic, and it's not heavy. It's not a thick liquid, it's not, when you apply it properly, it's not a thick liquid anyways, but when it holds together, it's not going anywhere.
Once you start using Barge, I'll never use hot glue again.
Yeah, because with hot glue, you have weak spots into it because there's the beads or lines of hot glue. With Barge, it's a whole entire thin layer between the 2 things you're putting together, and it's fantastic.
Go on. We have glasses. Yeah, heat gun for sure.
Yeah, you gotta keep that.
Anyways, our time's sort of
I used to be up in one time.
Oh,
So I was trying to make a chess piece, and so I made the mold that was supposed to go on, put the EVA foam on it, and I was like, I'll keep this up, it'll flex, it'll be good, we'll go outside. Oh, my friend's coming over, hang out for an hour. What's that burning smell? It's my chess piece.
Anyways, I just want if you guys can give them a round of applause here. all of us you can find on social media. If you want, I have some cards. You can message me, and I will get you in touch with any of these guys if you want. Remember, there are feedback things. There is a skill testing question that says, please rate this panel. The answer is 5. Just so you don't have to do math this morning type thing. And yeah, if you have questions, come see us at the con. Message us. These things are up here. And yeah, thanks very much for coming, you guys.
I need a picture with that witch.
What if I was filming this way the entire time? I was like holding the camera like this.
You were just like filming your chest though.
Oh shit, Lane, I think I didn't turn on the record. Oh shit.